All right, good morning. It's been a little while since we've done a daily BTC analysis, um, but we're back. So, monthly chart, which has another 2 days, 2.5 days. So that's a strong chart. Definitely strong, bullish chart. We came down to the equilibrium of this BISI, respected it, came down to this monthly inversion for value gap, respected it, pushed back up off of it. I've been saying that I think that there's a good chance price comes down and rebalances some of what's here down to 40 or 50. I've also said it doesn't have to, just because it's done that in the past. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe it never will. It's very possible never will. What I thought, and I may turn out to be wrong about this, I still may turn out to be right about this. What I thought was because we had a break in structure here, a market structure shift on the weekly candle now. We're on the weekly where price came down and closed below 56,723 or so. 56,500 you could say. So then that is the first time since here we're the end of this downtrend where we then went sideways, consolidated, and then had a market structure shift on the bullish side, which was the beginning of this long, nice bull run. So that was leaving me to think that we're going to show weakness. Of course, I also said, though, that we could retrace. We could retrace back into optimal trade entry territory on the weekly over here, which we did, but we went a little further. So of course, it's not a perfect, it's not a precise thing as I understand it. I'm not presenting myself as an expert on this. I'm learning this. But as I understand it, we went a little beyond 79%, and that's fine. We formed a weekly market structure shift over here as well on the bullish side, closing above here and continuing higher. It could still be that we curl down and come lower and rebalance down to 44,300, or maybe not that low, and we just go down to 48,624. Don't know. I don't know, but I'm not really predicting price. I'm just sharing what I notice using ICT concepts. So we have this bearish order block on the weekly here, which we came back, and we're basically, we'll see what happens this week. We just started a week. But this week I think would qualify as respecting that as bearish. But if we continue like this week, we've definitely disrespected it. Let's go down to daily. Okay, so we have in daily, we've been in a downtrend for a while. We curled back up. We had a bullish inversion over here. I'll draw that on. We had a bullish inversion over there. And that didn't show up on the, let's see here. Let's make that visible on the daily. Let's go back to daily. So we had a bullish inversion over here, which we've just ran away from. So there's that. Then we had another one over here, which we've respected. We just ran away from it. It was breakaway gaps here, breakaway BISIs. And then another one over here, which we also just framed. It overlapped with this BISI here, this buy-side imbalance at the low 60s, 62, and so on. So from the daily, we pushed up over here, and then we closed above this swing high, which formed that market structure shift I indicated earlier. In terms of this dealing range from this high to this low, on that candle, we also closed above equilibrium, which is another sign of bullishness. And then we've come back and we really respected this strong candle here, forming a small bullish order block over here, which we're so far respecting. We've come down into it. We wicked down into it and came back, closed above it. And let's see, now, we have a BISI over here, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, or also called a bullish for value gap over here from a few days ago. And we've, if today we close above here, that's really, I think that is what would validate these three down close candles as another bullish order block. Although this bullish order block is followed by a fair value gap, this one doesn't, maybe we'll have one afterwards. We'll have to see the close today, and we'll see an action tomorrow. Also looking to the left. Oh, and what else was I going to say here? So these BISIs now, we are in premium, and that's the other thing, is that this bullish order block here is around equilibrium. It's a little bit above equilibrium of this dealing range here, and these bullish order blocks will have less meaning. I guess we wouldn't necessarily want to go long on those. That's not advice, because this is just one particular time frame, and depending on your trading, investing, whatever you're doing, you would not want to listen to me. Do not listen to me. The other thing that we need to focus on here is these SIBIs, these sell side imbalances, buy side inefficiencies, which you see are on the 4 hour. And last time, well, actually, let's go back to daily. It's a little bit too much. So last time, when people thought we were going to break above and make new all-time highs above 73,800, or whatever it was, 73,794, we were stopped short by this 4 hour SIBI, which we're still on the daily. We'll come down to that in a minute. We were stopped short by that 4 hour SIBI. That 4 hour SIBI acted as resistance again, and still a third time, or a fourth time. Question is, are we going to hit this 4 hour SIBI and turn back? And I think that's what we want to watch over the next 4 hour, the upcoming 4 hour candles, to get a sense as to what might be coming in the following days. And then based on the daily candles, we can perhaps anticipate the weekly candles. So this is what we want to be watching from now, is on the 4 hour. Are we going to close above this SIBI? And if we do, are we closing above that SIBI? Which way are we going? In my opinion, I don't know. I could certainly see where we're going to keep moving up. I would be watching, if I wanted to know short term, like for example, I like to buy on brief pullbacks. When we drop a few percentage points, even let's say $2,500 off of a recent high, that's when I like to buy a little bit more, a few times a week. So for me, if we were to drop, down into 67,000 or so, I would add an extra, buy a little bit extra. Otherwise, I buy just pretty regularly anyway, a few times a week. We'd want to, if we close out this BISI, this bullish fair value gap on the 4 hour, that would indicate we might be coming back down a little bit. These are things that I'd be looking at, and I'm curious to hear what you're noticing. And if you're noticing anything that I have missed, and please leave a comment. And when you come back tomorrow, let me know what you're